That's hard to explain. I mean, to explain the love a mother has towards their child is very hard to put into words. I just know that as soon as I felt his first kick, oh my god, I would do anything for this child, even though I've never met you before, and it's just a different kind of love. Growing up, I was a very goofball kind of kid. It was funny because like among my friends, they used to call me like Tiff Funny because I used to always be like a class clown. I would always pretend to model. Like modeling was like my shit when I was little. Because I remember my mom, she had shown me like a little newspaper clipping of her in a fashion show, and she told me like, oh look, like, you know, I modeled. And I'm like, cool. And I don't know, I guess when I was that little, knowing that my mom was a model, I just saw it as like, that's what I want to be, because my mom was like that. I was just very vibrant with like my outlook on life. I don't know, I guess I was very happy, you know, I had a lot of confidence because I would just like strut around and like pose every time my dad would like take photos of me. I would kind of move my body like this and put my arm on my hip and the other one like that, and I'd go like that. That was like my modeling go-to pose. And my parents, they used to tell me like, oh, you know, we're gonna put you on Sábado Gigante. And Sábado Gigante is a Latin variety show, and they used to always have like this one segment where they would bring kids and the kids would perform. My parents used to always tell me like, okay, practice your songs, like, you know, we're gonna put you on Sábado Gigante and you're gonna be famous. And I'm like, cool. So like that was like my dream, like, you know, be a big artist. But yeah, I mean, that obviously didn't happen, and my parents never submitted for me to be on the show or anything. I think I wanted to be a famous singer and a model up until my parents' divorce. It was, fuck, I can't get the words out. That was the catalyst as to why I didn't want to pursue anything else. I went into a depression, and I would go to therapy, and I didn't focus on my future anymore. I stopped thinking about what I wanted to be growing up. That translated a lot into my school too. I was just disinterested. I just did the minimum. I was like a C average student. Really quickly, my life changed from always, you know, being with my dad 24/7 to now with my mom and her new husband. And so as soon as my brother was born, it was mainly, you know, take care of your brother, you know, help around the house. My brothers growing up, I would see that my mom would put them into a lot of extracurricular activities. They went to like karate and baseball and all this stuff, and I would always have this like resentment against her, like, you know, why them? Like, why did you fulfill their creative needs and not me? And yeah, you know, I felt robbed of a childhood almost, because I felt like my whole childhood I was just raising my brothers and not even focused on my school or anything. And I would just like drown myself in music or TV. And I was coping with everything, like, you know, it was still with that whole parents divorcing, and why'd you ask me that? Fuck. This one time in high school, my neighbor ditched me. She went to school and I had no ride to get to school. I get back home, my mom was like, take the bus, you need to go to school. And at that point, you know, I was so rebellious, and I'm like, no, you take me to school. You're my mom, it's your responsibility. You should be taking me to school. So I went to my room, I took a nap, I woke up, there was these cops flashing their lights on my face, and they were like, come on, get up, loser. You want to be a loser? You have to go to school. And there was like 3 cop cars. I'm like, man, you guys exaggerate just because I don't want to go to school. And just a lot of situations like that, to where we were just at each other's throats. Like, we couldn't stand each other. So I started going crazy with my party days. I joined, like, you know, these party crews where we would throw these flyer parties, they called, because back in the day you had to have flyers to find out about parties. And I never thought, like, hey, you know, I need to get my shit together, I need to go to school, I need to do something. I never thought about my future. I was always just in the now. 2 weeks before I graduated from school, that's when I got pregnant, and in the first 3 months of my pregnancy, I just got like extreme fatigue where I could not get out of bed. And so because of that, I didn't go to school those last 2 weeks, and I didn't end up graduating. During my pregnancy, I went to adult school because I was adamant, and I'm like, I just didn't want to be a loser without at least a high school diploma. If I haven't achieved anything in life, I need to at least have my high school diploma. So I was supposed to graduate in 2007. I ended up getting my high school diploma in 2009, and I felt very accomplished. And you know, now that I had another life that I was responsible for, I'm like, I need to do something with my life. I can't just keep going with the flow. I need to think about my future. I don't want my son to grow up with the same struggles that I had. Thinking of my child and, you know, with the household that I would create on my own, it brought a lot of positivity to me in a time when I didn't have any. You know, Isaac wasn't an accident or a mistake or anything like that. In that time, I felt like, yes, I'm ready. And it's so funny to think about, like, I was so young, 17 years old, thinking, yes, I'm ready to be a mother. You know, I've lived everything I wanted to live and I'm ready to bring another human into his life. Thinking back to it now, I'm like, what the hell were you thinking? You're so young. So like once I got into the medical field and I got my job, I felt stable. You know, I was able to buy my own car, get my own apartment, buy the things that my son needed with no one else's help. And that was the very first time I had ever felt those feelings of me being proud. And I knew that I was doing something right.
Just want to let you know, it's a Kung Fu movie marathon on channel 13, son.
Oh, and what makes you think I like Kung Fu?
Yo. No racial.
Oh, alright, we cool.
So my boyfriend at that time, I remember he showed me a Tiffany Del Real video and I just thought that was hilarious. And from then on, like I started looking at other YouTubers like from Shane Dawson and Lisa Nova, and growing up I never had a creative outlet, and so seeing how these other people were just like, you know, I'm gonna take this into my own hands and I'm gonna create something out of nothing. I just thought that was so dope. I'm like, man, I could never do that. That's so cool. Around that same time of my love for YouTube, I came across Wax. You know, he's a YouTube rapper and I used to always watch his music videos. So I finally went to one of his shows, and at his show, I was so drawn to this whole new world of different people that I've never been exposed to, which was like, you know, a lot of creative people. And that's how I started to meet Casey, his music video director. The next time we encountered each other was at a Dumbfounded rooftop party for his album release. I remember I had met JustKiddingFilms too, because Casey was there. And then at that time, Casey had just broken up with his girlfriend, and then later on I had broken up with my boyfriend, and then that's how Casey and I kind of started dating. He would bring me around JK a lot, and I started to really see the minds behind his channel, and I was so inspired by them. Based off of their channel, they just look like goofballs, right? But then once you actually get to know them, you're like, holy shit, they're geniuses. Like, they're really smart and they're really business savvy and they're really focused on their goals, and they know what they want to reach and accomplish. And I had never been around a group of people like that, you know, because growing up I was on my own a lot, and so meeting these people, it flipped my whole world upside down. I got addicted.
Oh shit, I said no more. Are you okay?
You're awesome! The forehead is
When I first encountered JK, I was so shy and I was so like, I'm not worthy, you know, that's how I felt. And you know, a perfect example of someone in the crew who was like, you know what, I want that, I'm gonna go get it, is Julia. My first impression of Julia was, wow, like she has a presence, because she was very vibrant. And I'm like, God, this girl's awesome. So like meeting Julia, how she was just like straightforward, I was like, that's dope, that's so fucking dope. So I totally admired her for that a lot. Seeing JK as how they were so close, and it was like they made you feel like they were your family. And having that closeness was really special to me because I never grew up with that. Fuck, I'm gonna cry. With the childhood I had, being always on my own and not really having anyone to rely on, having JK in my life was like having a family. Hey guys, thanks for watching my very emotional episode of How We Met. I'm sorry I'm such a big crybaby. I was just very in tune with my emotions during this interview. But what I was really trying to say towards the end is that, you know, if for those of you out there who don't have a support system at home, or, you know, if you feel like you're very alone, you never know when someone will walk into your life and fulfill that void for you. So, you know, there is hope out there for you guys. But, you know, let me know what you thought of this episode, other than the fact that I'm a big ass crybaby. But let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and check out Michael's last episode. It's really cool. He was a really awesome swimmer and how that helped him in his life. Maybe you guys can relate to him too. Go check him out. Bye. Fuck, I can't say it. baby's still rolling.
It's cute.